I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
Here from the 3. Streaks across the 30. He might be gone.
It's up. Gaston to the right. Oh,
They got blockers. They got blockers. They've got a lane.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Darrell Langham with the grab.
Stars intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. We got the truth again.
Because when the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. We got to get there. And it's going to take everybody.
What's up, Canes fans? Welcome to the Miami Knights podcast, part of the College Huddle Network. We're coming off a sandwiched bye week. We had a bye week, FSU, and then another bye week. From here on out, your Canes have a straight shot all the way to what I'm hoping is some type of playoff run. The hopes are high compared to the rest of the state. I mean, it is just on different levels. We're going to get into it today. The state of Florida is controlled by the Miami Hurricanes. That was evident by last week's game against FSU, but even more so what we saw this week from the rest of the Florida schools. So today we're going to get into kind of what happened in college football this week. I mean, a chaotic week. It was a great array of games alongside a lot of off-the-field drama. There's just so much going on in college football right now. Coaches on the hot seat already. We'll get into it, but gonna get into what happened this week. Got a little game for the boys today that it's super short, but might call it the numbers game we're gonna get into. Then we're gonna look forward to Louisville, Louisville, whatever you call it. We got the Cardinals this week.
How do you guys call it? Is it Louisville?
I go
or is it
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
But
I
if
would
you have
say
an
Louisville.
accent, it's
Louisville.
Louisville.
And then you start mumbling it as you go farther down south. And then, we'll get into our Eye of the Hurricane for that week. And then have us update our record predictions, what we started the year on, see how we're feeling on that, and then we'll get into our normal lock of the week and best of X. So we got a good show for you guys today. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? We got through our second bye week. As a fan, I hate bye weeks. Unless we're winning, but still, it's like you want to watch them play. Especially the back-to-back, the 2 bye weeks in 3 weeks was tough. I don't know how you guys felt about that.
You know, Jimmy, I feel rested.
Yeah.
I feel rested and ready to
Joe
go
rides
for...
with the team.
I do. I do. And we got right this week. You know, a little banged up coming off FSU. I certainly was feeling it emotionally and physically, just dealing with all the hoopla, being number 2 in the country, but feeling good. And, you know, this weekend spent the weekend in Sleepy Hollow, New York, a little Halloween-themed weekend. And Lindsay, while we were there, we sat down for lunch. Wonderful sports bar called the Bridgeview Tavern. Highly recommend. And we were sitting down for lunch. FSU game was on. There was some college football on. I was watching it, had my Canes hat on. Someone came up to me, was talking to me a little Miami football. And Lindsay goes, wait, does Miami have a bye week this weekend? I almost got through the Saturday thinking I was doing something good, making a little sacrifice on a Saturday by going to Sleepy Hollow.
Do we have a bye week?
I was like,
I was going to do this anyways.
Yeah, you're right, we do. I guess that worked out.
Yeah,
Not that I had planned this perfectly, but yeah, feeling good.
Did you play the golf course? Sleepy
I
Hollow?
did not. No,
Yeah,
no, that is
game.
on the
That's a
bucket
tough
list.
game.
Yeah, father-in-law has played it and got me some shirts from there, so I've got the logo.
Wow, nice.
It's the
Okay.
sickest logo in golf, but
Yep.
have not gotten on there myself.
Yep.
Sleepy Hollow Country Club.
I gotta agree with Joe. I think you know what I think when your team is really good, the bye week for me is like it feels nice to watch the chaos unfold, and it's nice to watch other teams struggle and go through some of the things that we've gone through, experience, and see some painful losses and some letdowns and things like that. You know, because we in a 20-day stretch, we're going to have one football game, you know, until next Thursday, right? We'll have the Florida State game is our only game for a 20-day period. But I think when you stink, or, you know, when you're coming off a bad loss, or the things that we've gone through in the past, I think the bye week, it hurts more because you're like, I want to see us get out there and get it right or get the season over with or whatever it is. So I think when you're the best team in the country, and number 2 in the polls, it feels good. I think it's just relaxation, and we did need it. I think we did need it. So
going into this season, when we saw where this bye week was, there was a potential that it was going to be the worst stretch of football that Miami's ever had. If you lose to Florida bye week, lose to FSU bye week, that's suicide territory. But
the bye weeks would have been horrible. If we
truly couldn't have been better. We actually got we literally got a weekend to bask in the glory and just rub it in for an additional week against both of our rivals.
Yep.
Couldn't have been better.
I agree. Having wins surrounding a bye week is always a remedy for it. It definitely is hard what Kurt was saying, 21 days having one Miami Hurricanes, or 20 days I think, because we'll have a little bit less. Having one Miami Hurricanes football game is tough, but we got a game on Friday this week. That's my favorite. When you have a game on Friday, I hate Friday games, but I love it for us. Because if we win, then it's like you can just sit back on Saturday and enjoy, and we got our W. So
I'm not going to lie, I'm already behind on preparation for Friday game because usually on Mondays is when I guess they haven't done it yet. So I guess I'm fine, but Mondays I watch Cristobal press conference, and then I start my film. I watch like whatever our past 5 games against what the opponent is. So I should have watched film today. I should have watched one of the Louisville Miami games today. I'm behind, so that's on me. So I just have to have a good Monday.
Cristobal has been expanding his horizon a little bit with his interviews. I don't know if anyone here listens to part of my take.
Certainly feels good, yeah.
But the last podcast I'd ever expect Mario Cristobal to hop on is part of my take. I love it for recruiting because the players are listening to that podcast. But yeah, he showed up on the Barstool podcast. You guys have a chance to listen to it?
I did listen to it. Big Cat asked him how his rowback question of the week. The last question was how he felt when Super Mario came out, having the name Mario. Mario Cristobal's not the guy to ask a question like that. No. Stared him dead in the eyes and said, "I did not play that game." And that was the guy.
He's like, all I cared about was football.
Yeah.
But they were bought in. PMT or
he was good. I think it elevated his because he was still himself. It wasn't like he acted like a clown or something, like he was trying to be cool, like, hello, fellow kids.
Right.
He was still himself. And I thought I enjoyed him on Bussin' with the Boys too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was on like a tour. But I thought he came across as really authentic. So I thought it was
he
good.
owned it. He's like, I know I'm probably going to be the most boring interview you've ever had.
Yeah,
but
he goes, this is going to be the most. And before that Super Mario question, he goes, they're like, we ask you one more question. It's probably going to be like a ridiculous question you've never been asked. He goes, as long as it has nothing to do with me predicting or doing some hypothetical scenario, then I'll answer. I'm like, jeez. they did a good job with him. Yeah. He pulled some jokes in. He's a charismatic guy, but also the most serious guy I think I've ever heard speak.
He's intense. Intense.
But yeah, so Mario used it at the beginning of his bye week for that. He's out there recruiting, unlike Bill Belichick, who I think went on vacation for his bye week. The North Carolina Tar Heels are in absolute shambles right now, if we want to start with that in the world of college football. Many rumors that Bill Belichick was going to get fired. They were trying to find a buyout this week. The heck of that situation is I believe that if he's not the coach, it's going to be his son. If that's the deal they have.
Yeah, that's how he lined it up to be, for his son to take over when he left. I mean, it's a disaster. The AD never even wanted him there and was adamant about not hiring him. The board wanted him, and now this is exactly how everybody knew this was going to end. And Bill Belichick is forever tarnishing his name. He went from being the greatest NFL coach of all time to it's a joke.
Yeah, it's bad.
Could you imagine being a North Carolina fan?
I mean, what a nightmare. I mean, it's embarrassing. To me, it's the perfect encapsulation of the social media culture. It's ruined so many, in particular professional sports, like icons, guys that you would look up to in the past. It's taken away all the mystique. I mean, because I feel the same way about like LeBron James. It's just, the more that I learn about guys, I'm just like, the less I like them, the less I respect them. Yeah, I mean, like doing
Part
Hennessy.
two. What are we doing?
Everyone, it's all this. It's like the more they let you into their life, you're just like, I don't respect you at all. I mean, even Tom Brady's been like better than some of these guys at it, but even him, it's like strange. And
Yeah.
that's it's just the more I learn about this guy. Yeah. It's just, he's got some, obviously Bill Belichick's got some issues. He's going through this crisis at the end of his life, and it's kind of sad,
and it's
but
on full, it's just completely documented.
Yeah.
I would love that. So the Hulu thing got nixed that they were doing on them, the documentary, and just would love to just see what they had, just see whatever episodes they were about to drop on that.
Someone's got the footage.
Someone's got the footage. But all right.
Yeah, someone out there tweeted like that, and I thought this was great. It was Duke should buy the rights to it and just play it on a loop on the recruiting visits,
It was just a recipe for disaster, but
Why couldn't we play them this year?
I know. God.
I think I had said last year too, like, thank God we don't play UNC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And now it's like, God, I would.
Well, there was that part of like everybody, like when you thought about it from a sane point of view, you're like, it's going to be a disaster. But everyone in the back of everyone's mind, they're like, well, what if Bill Belichick can make something special happen?
The recruiting was always going to be the problem.
I mean, ESPN had them in their playoff to start the year, projected playoff team.
So you deserve to be fired if that's your playoff prediction. All right, I got 3 numbers for you guys. Here's our game. I got 3 numbers for us, and you're going to tell me what that number is. Well, it has to do with the world of college football. That's your context. So it's stuff.
Thanks, Jimmy. On a college football podcast. Thanks for that hint. I thought it was going to have to do something with the.
There's been no build up for this, so this is improv, if you will.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, first number is 385. Do I have a taker on what that number is?
Oh, yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
300. Oh, I do know it. Yes.
385 days since
FSU.
The Tallahassee boys have won a conference game, huh?
Yes.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
And even that win was almost a loss against Cal.
Right?
It could have been 2 straight years.
Yeah.
I mean, are we continuing the game right now? Or
no. We'll
talk
about it. I'll go to the next number after we finish FSU. It's getting me into what I want to talk about.
Good. Yeah.
But FSU drops to Pitt. They let Miami beat them twice. I think who said that? Joe or Kurt? One of you guys texted that. But yeah.
Well,
Not
technically,
good.
FSU's only lost to themselves.
That's true. They're beat themselves 3 times now.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not. It truly has gotten to the point where it's not even fun to just bash them anymore because it's truly pathetic. Not just their fall from grace, but the way that they're treating the whole situation. Look at what Penn State did today, firing James Franklin. Who they were in the Final 4 last year in the playoffs. He loses 3 straight. He lost the team. They fired him. I don't get the leash, Mike Norvell. I get the buyout. The buyout is crazy. But it's at the point where it's like, fire him, pay him the buyout, and have just an interim coach. Like, you can't keep
Are you doing more
this.
damage by keeping him?
Yeah.
It's insane. And the way the fans talk about him was like, well... like the players just need to buy in, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, what are we talking about? It is year 6. He hasn't won an ACC game in over a year. I'm at a loss for words at what's happening at Florida State.
I had my ultimate hate watch listen weekend because it was a bye week. I was driving back. I had a 4-hour drive today. And I turned on several Florida Gator and Florida Seminole podcasts and just listened to on the drive. And the meltdown is real. And like, it's eerie kind of when I hear them talk, because we've said stuff like this in the past many times, ever since basically Randy Shannon was the coach. And just to hear how they're talking, I'm like, my God, I'm so happy that is not our program right now. And just getting it's, what is it, week 6? And we have a coach's hot list out there. Like, when you were talking playoffs 2 weeks ago, speaking of FSU, like, Danny Cannell said, see you in Charlotte last week.
Yeah. It to me, I'm happy with how we handled the Virginia game and ultimately leading up to our preview show for our own Florida State game, and how we kind of took it after the fact was like, teams should, like, it's like the old, like, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. It's like this was a team. If you just spent 15 minutes digging through some of the fluff in the narrative that started to surround Florida State after 3 games, it was just like, hold on a second. What am I missing here? Like, this team is stat padding and front running against Kent State and East Texas A&M. I mean,
they
like,
were riding high after that.
It was just unbelievable. And to turn around and in a 3-week span, I mean, you want to talk about humility. Like, is Tommy Castellano still, what's he got? Is he still selling merch on his website, or what,
Yeah.
what is the midget doing now? Like, how does this guy is
Edwards back.
Unbelievable. Do little people watch the show? This guy, I watched the pick. When I say I watched the pick game, let me be clear. I watched every single play of that game. And it was like, this was not a Florida State fell behind, fought back, was in control, and this is a team. They lost. They got beat by a true freshman quarterback at home. But Tommy Castellanos is chucking the ball, like, blindly chucking the ball on the run all over the field.
Oh yeah, the one touchdown that he had was garbage.
It's such a fluke.
Chucked it.
Like, their defensive line, I think I thought I had some underlying stats from how their defensive line panned out as far as pressure rate. They could not generate pressure on the quarterback at all. And you even look, I mean, they were missing some guys. Miami now, again, like we discussed, is at that level of talent acquisition and player evaluation where you play Miami, you're banged up. And Florida State was banged up too.
Yeah.
And we saw that just ultimately come together, and but this is who they are.
And then Mike Norvell has the audacity to get in front of the mic and say, he's like, that's 3 one-score losses. Like, 3 straight games, 1-score losses. It's like,
I mean, the man's fighting for his job right now. He's got.
It's
He's
crazy,
a loser.
though.
It's just loser mentality.
So you're just telling the whole world that Miami game, truly, you can consider that a one-score loss. Even this Pitt dominated. Yeah. So he was obviously getting ripped by the fans. It's all coming to light now where their fans, they were giving him the benefit of the doubt for so long, but now you're looking at it and you're like, wait a second. This guy, right now he can't win an ACC game. He can't recruit. That's on paper. He is supposed to be a portal guru. Not in the last 2 years he hasn't been. He hit the portal once. He hit it one time and it worked out. But his track record is so it's like, what does Mike Norvell do for that program? Nothing. It's just, he doesn't bring anything to the table. So I get the buyouts crazy, but you can't keep doing this. I hope they do. I hope Mike Norvell stays there forever. We said it from the day he got hired that we hope this. I mean, how long did they give Willie Taggart? 26
21
games.
games.
Was that 21 games?
That was my
gone.
other
Mike
number.
Norvell, he gets. Are all your numbers to do with FSU?
No, just those two. Got 21.
You know what? He introduced some innovative practice techniques to the university
gun.
squirt guns, so
Racing his team, doing sprints.
at this. Oh yeah, the sprinting on the field. At this point, doesn't it beg the question of like he's a Jordan Travis merchant.
7-21
100%.
without Jordan Travis.
Is it just build Jordan Travis a statue? Like,
Yeah.
put him in the Ring of Honor.
He needs to pay him part of the buyout.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Well,
when they pay Mike
I
Norvell,
think Jordan Travis is even
I
checked
think he's
out now.
paying it. I think he's paying it in abuse on social media because he's caping up for him, and I'm not.
Yeah.
He's on his way. He's on his way to his 5th losing season potential. I mean, there's a ways to go, but he's an abomination.
And last thing I'll say on Florida State here is they keep on throwing out NIL stuff, and like that's the way some of them are coping. Is like, well, maybe we just don't have the NIL. First of all, nobody knows what teams' NIL budgets are, but people can get kind of an idea of what teams have. Florida State is in the top 25 of NIL teams. They have Mike Norvell is one of. He's like top 5 highest paid coaches in college football right now. Money hasn't been an issue at Florida State. They're losing to teams that are in a way worse situation NIL-wise than they are. It has nothing to do with that. And they keep on, Miami is, then they're like, well, Miami's just, they've got the NIL stuff. It's like, well, we can also recruit way better than you, and we've built this program the right way. Mike Norvell, he hasn't said it outright, but he's had assistant coaches and former coaches come out and say they simply do not think high school recruiting is important and they only focus on the portal. They've admitted it, and it was cool when it was working, and the portal every single year becomes less and less of just a pool of talent. Like the first year it opened up, it was insane. Every single year it's getting tightened up with NIL and colleges trying to keep players within the program. So you cannot do what he's doing, and it's all he knows how to do. They're done. They have to blow it up. But I hope they don't. But my God.
You put what you were talking about, Joe, with like what does he do well was what one of those FSU podcasts was talking about today.
Cries.
Yeah. And like you think, because the one that I was listening to is like he just needs to give up like recruiting and stuff like that because like he's a good coach, a good game day coach. He's a horrible game day coach. Did you, Kurt, well, you watched every snap, so you saw this. The fake punt that they were going to go for on their own side of the 50, and they still just needed a stop just to get the ball back. And he went for the fake punt, was bailed out by a delay of game. And I think they ended up not, or like they had to then actually punt.
They actually punted, yeah.
Yeah, but that was just going to be an all-time call. Like, that was the game right there. Like, I think if that fake punt happens and it blows it up, I don't think Norvell has a job today. I think he got lucky.
We talked at the last Canes game about this guy. If you watched the 2-10 season, his erratic going for it, like it makes Dan Campbell look like look like
Mike
an
Tomlin.
old school coach who, it really, like Bill Cowher, like a guy who was not aggressive or would not go for it on 4th down.
I think I saw Mike Tomlin punt 4th and 2 from the opponent 40.
Yeah, he did. It was completely like irresponsible coaching. And the other thing is like, it's just, this is a Miami podcast, but we're going to break this down. It's like this man, his offense has been predicated on big plays. And that's, the boom or bust thing is like they were booming when Jordan Travis was there, when he had a quarterback that played at a high level, but that was always his thing. He was always towards the top of the country in big plays at Memphis and when he first got to Florida State. And he's been unable to adapt, and he's kind of, the more I think about like the Gus Malzahn thing, like Norvell was it was one of those, like he was under Gus for a while, and he was under Gus at Tulsa and stuff, and it's like when you bring that guy back and now you're the guy and he works for you, it just seems like there's probably a little. He's not gonna get in Gus's face, and this is a Gus Malzahn offense, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and it's very different, and maybe it just doesn't blend, but their problems go a lot deeper than that. It's this guy has it's mind blowing to me how bad he's been. Aside from that pop season,
oh yeah, 13-0 is an outlier at this point.
It would simply never happen to Miami. Miami would never go 2-10 and would never not win an ACC game in over a year.
I mean,
it's impossible.
I don't care what the buyout was last year. 2-10 is just it's unacceptable. I am shocked he has a job today. My guess is that it's gonna come sometime. It should have already come, but I think it's gonna come sometime this season. And then Gus takes over as interim, and then they win a couple games, and they do a emotional hire, and they hire Gus, and that would be great. I'd be thrilled. All right, cool. All right, next number is 56.
When Miami losing to Clemson 56-0.
No, it's kind of a trick question, but it's 56. Yeah. Kurt, you got anything?
56. Does that have anything to do with FSU?
No. Something we've talked about today, though.
Oh, his buyout.
That is James Franklin's buyout.
56 mil.
56 million.
Yeah. 20 grand. What is that? 20 grand every day. He'll get
there was
paid?
some stat like that was pretty wild
For the next 6 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Until 2031. Yeah.
And and what's Norvell's 20 million? Come on, guys. That's nothing compared to what Penn State's doing over there.
For an athletic department that's bankrupt.
Yeah. Penn State finally pulled the plug.
I mean, yeah, and his is solely like you look at his record in big games, in games that mattered, and it was atrocious. But it is crazy. I mean, the man they were in a playoff last year in the Final Four. Like, it is crazy, but how quickly they fell off the map. What was it? 15 days ago, they took the lead against Oregon at one point, and now he's done.
Boy, now you question Oregon.
But their team quit. Like, it's clear that Penn State quit.
Yeah.
Penn State quit on the
like
you
how
can't
truly
lose a team like that.
No, completely. I mean, look, they were 20. Like, I was giving you grief last week. I was like, wait, you're picking Northwestern, Joe? But then I was like, oh, not the spread. Well, you could have just picked them outright. Like, that's all. It's unbelievable.
It was clear in the UCLA game that Penn State was done. Everyone was done, and now they've got Drew Allers out for the season. Like,
and that's the crazy thing about that is because that was one loss. Like, they still had the world ahead of them going into UCLA. Like, get back up. Now it's done. I mean, absolutely it's done. It was done after UCLA, most likely. But it's just like, golly, that just 20.5 point favors, and you lose at home.
Yeah. Yeah. With the whole, they were like honoring the past too. You know, they painted the end zones the old school way, and they had the special uniforms on. It was...
That's like old school Miami mid-2000s stuff right there.
Yeah.
Honoring a team and just losing
just
to an inferior opponent.
Right in front of them. Yeah. I mean, good. I would say good for Penn State. Like, it does a lot of things. Is number one, essentially they're going to go fresh start because Drew Aller has been their quarterback for 4 years, and James Franklin's been their coach for 12 years. So it's a blank. They're pretty much like, we're starting over, like blank slate next year. And
Golden
just
gets the gig.
Completely redoing it. But it saves them. It saves the. I don't think so. But it saves them like they don't have to deal with the next 4 months. People like, oh, should we fire him now? Should we fire him now? Oh, why don't we talk about who we're going to hire before we fire him? It's just like they just did it. And whether I read maybe Adidas is financing it or not, I don't know. I don't think it really, whatever. Penn State doesn't care.
Did they move to Adidas?
They
going to? Because they're Nike this year, I'm pretty sure.
I think that came out recently that they're
I saw that same report.
Going to Adidas.
Speaking of that, I mean, that's a slippery slope. If you got sponsors getting into this and saying we're not going to pay you guys money.
I think it's more like so for example, actually, didn't Adidas commit to us that we're always going to be their top
They said we'd be the Oregon of Adidas, basically.
So I'm pretty sure it's stipulated that Miami is always going to be Adidas's number one brand in their university line, right? So when I think that's how I saw the news actually that Penn State's going to Adidas, because it's good news for Miami, because you bring in Penn State, it's
we're
like
about to get
we're going to keep going up, yeah. So I think it's
like the
more
Nick Saban
like
deal for coaching.
leverage, like almost like taking out like equity, where you're like Adidas is backing us now, so we're just gonna the $60 million or whatever. We don't care. We're gonna leverage it in that sense.
Being a fired college coach is the greatest job in the world.
He doesn't have to work another day in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll probably it's tough for him now, but give it like 1 year, and then people, if they see him in the streets, will be thrilled that it's James Franklin. They're seeing him like he's going to be just fine.
Well,
I really don't have much sympathy when it comes to it's like not many professions you can be horrible at your job and get paid millions.
If Florida fires Billy Napier and hires James Franklin, I would hate that. I'd be concerned.
Yeah, no, that he was definitely on my list of coaches I do not want at Florida, because I mean, he is a good coach and he can recruit.
Yeah.
He'd be good there.
He's a good coach. Like, out of the options, like that's the other problem that Florida and FSU need to think about is like you got the Penn State job opening up, and some big name coach is going to take that job, and so then there's probably another job opening up that might be more attractive than Florida or FSU. And you got to get on it at this point. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a sense in athletic departments of like the big like Penn State's probably the biggest, unless like Michigan fires Sharon Moore, which I don't expect.
Kurt's got bad blood.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you did great. He helped you out this week.
I just wonder if it's like, wow, Penn State made the move. If Strickland at Florida and, some of these places, Auburn, sadly, and if they're just like, we can't, I mean, Penn State's open. Like we gotta throw our names in the hat, or, the talent pool of coaches, they've got to know that we're looking for someone too. You can't get left behind, who's going to have the first pick.
Right. And you got to do it fast too, because these recruits, they're looking like, these guys aren't idiots. And so you can't go into their houses and they're like, and you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to be the coach next year. Like, they know you're probably not. So if you fire a coach, then you can go into their houses and be like, here's the list of guys we're looking at for our coach. Like, we have a plan for you. Like, you can at least start making a plan, rather than like what Kurt was saying, just kind of wait till the end of the season when everybody knows the inevitable is happening, and then you fire. I mean, the buyouts are insane, but it's not worth. Like, they got to make a change. Florida.
This just popped in my head too.
My God.
Do you guys think NIL collectives are going to start recruiting players when they is Penn State's collective going to say, we don't have a coach, but we'll still offer you $2 million if you want to?
It's still the Wild West, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
I would love to go in a recruit's room. It's just a big booster. Hey,
final
we don't have
number,
a coach, but I'll pitch to you.
Final number, and this leads us into your Miami Hurricanes. Talking about Louisville. 95.2. What's that number?
95.
The 0.2 should be a little bit of a giveaway.
Is that DJ Volume's radio station he's going to start, and he gets canned after Friday night?
It's a big night for him. Friday night.
Yeah,
like that's
a big one. I think this is, talk about on a hot seat.
All eyes are going to be on him.
And his buyout is very small.
Yeah, there is no. He's got to pay them.
Miami is DJ Volume.
95.2. Okay, I got any final guesses?
It has to do with Miami, Louisville.
Yeah, Miami. That is Ruben
Weather's
Bain's
been miraculous
PFF
down here.
grade.
It's not going to be. Oh,
Ruben Bain's PFF grade, good for
For the
number one in
season?
the country. Yep.
Wow. That's insane.
He has not had a
Yeah,
game
he might be number
below,
one pick in the draft.
has not had a game below 90
wow.
with 2 penalties last week.
Hmm.
So
That's nuts.
that's what I saw that because PFF is actually like leading the charge for a Heisman campaign for Ruben Bain. They're like, if there was ever a year to put a defensive player in, and we talked about it last week, but the stat sheet hasn't shown as much, but 95.2 is pretty wild. He's been absolutely dominating.
And if you want to talk about Heisman of like what individual player is doing the most to make a difference
Yeah,
on the field
like
for a winning
impact.
team,
Mhm.
that's Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
Every single play, he's a huge impact on that play.
Yeah.
It's hard. I've never really seen a motor like his
Yeah.
to be
I
able
think
to just
that's-
be in the backfield every play.
It's like it kind of. I don't like how you value PFF. Is obviously like up for debate, and in general, I kind of dislike some of their. Maybe it's just the guys who work for them that like when they talk. I don't know how I
Nerds.
particularly feel about about the grading system itself, but that is where something like PFF. This is what it's made for. Is like because we talked again. We have been discussing how impactful Ruben Bain has been, but if you pull up a Miami box score, and I saw Florida State idiots, Ohio State fans who have been extremely sensitive on Twitter about anyone who says Miami is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
I've seen them jumping in on this. Florida fans were doing it before and after the Florida game. Is you can't go to the box score with Ruben Bain. And that's not me being like, it's just watch him play. You have to watch him play. He's a millisecond away from making half of the plays in every game. So it's kind of, PFF is kind of made to boost the brand of a guy like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't go to the box score for Miami Hurricanes in general this season. Like, if you
It's been-
look
yeah,
at the
that's
box
a good
score versus
point.
if you watch the games, it's like this is clearly the number one team in the country. If you look
Yeah.
at the box score, especially with our offense, it's like some of the offensive numbers aren't flashy. Defense is top 15 in pretty much every category that matters, especially rushing defense has been insane. So like all those numbers are good, but it doesn't tell the full story of just how dominant this team has looked. So it's like, I sure hope the College Football Playoff Committee is doing their jobs. You hope those guys getting paid as much as they are, that have as important a job as they do, you hope they watch every game. It's not a given, but we'll know when the first poll comes out. I think it's clear that most of the AP voters have watched Miami play because they've been pretty high on them. There's just a few outliers that have Miami like still not ranked very well, or at least in the past few weeks they haven't. So, but it's kind of like that, like how we're talking about Ruben Bain. I'd say that's like with the whole team.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, someone who does believe in the Canes, and that's Vegas. 14.5-point favorites. Louisville coming into town. Gentlemen, we're going to redo our predictions or see if there's any adjustment we want to make for the season as a whole. But in the beginning of the year, this is the one I had circled as an L. Friday night games, especially against a team like Louisville, that is just a recipe for disaster in my mind. But I also had less faith in the team than I do now. So I don't know how I feel about it. But Louisville is 4. They're 4-1. None of their wins are terribly impressive. They did just beat a Pitt team that, looked decent against FSU, and they went into overtime against UVA, who's had a pretty good year. So this is no like 14
Undefeated.
Yeah. This is no, easy ACC game. And I'll never call any ACC game into the second half of October to the end of the season easy anyways from all the trauma we've had over the years. But it feels like we're on a roll right now, and if we can hop on them quick after a bye week, I feel good about our Canes. But how are we feeling about this? Friday night, it's going to be prime time. All eyes will be on the Canes. How are we feeling?
Yeah, it's hard to say anything other than I feel fantastic.
Nice.
I think Louisville. So, are we going to do our rest of the season predictions right now, or are we going into the Louisville?
We can merge it together if you'd like. You can say what you can say if this. I mean, this wasn't one of your losses though? You had Florida, right?
Yeah, I mean, Florida was like that was the one that I had circled, and obviously I think we all gave an honorable mention. Joe ultimately, made it his soapbox, but the pick game at the end of the year. And honestly, I say this in all seriousness,
Freshman quarterback that's looking pretty good.
They've turned it around with this freshman coming in, but I wouldn't say I'm more concerned because of that. The Florida State game wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe we have to play Pitt. It's just like where it's going to be. It's the at Pittsburgh thing in late November with. Just at that point in the season, it's just going to be a game that you're going to want to get in and get out of. I'll just leave it at that. But it's like, yeah, I mean, gosh, we've been unbelievable. And I have a hard time thinking like, what does a letdown look like for Miami? Turning the ball over.
It almost seems like we have too many stars. To have
the penalties is a big one. I will 100%. That's what I want to see cleaned up coming out of the bye week. But it's just like it's a confidence thing. It's not like I can't literally see how this team can lose. It's not invincible, but it's a confidence that I have in the defense is so improved. I think the defense is better than the offense this year. I'm just going to say like that is that's where I'm at with this team.
Yeah.
And it's a credit to the defense. I just think that they're outstanding. And so I think we're going to play good defense. And this is like, even like Syracuse last year was like Syracuse genuinely had one of the most explosive offenses in the country last year. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I just look here and I'm like, Louisville, no. Stanford, SMU, not the same. We already knew that. Syracuse, no. NC State, none of these offenses are like jumping out where it's like, that's the one. Like I just can't see any of these teams scoring 30 points on us. So listen, we're in the driver's seat and we got to take care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going into this Louisville game, obviously, I don't know if you guys have thought of this, but I can't help but get the Georgia Tech game. It's just stuck in my head from 2 years ago. Of you start to see, I mean, that 2023, we started the season pretty strong. We were feeling pretty good. We had the nice win over Texas A&M. We were feeling good about this team. It was different than what we have now. I mean, looking back on it, you can see that, but. Then we had that Georgia Tech game. Everybody knows what happened, and we just but that game, even regardless of the infamous finish, it never felt right. We were flat. It was just one of those games. It was gross from the start, and we ended up losing. And so it's like that obviously is a fear here because we have had such a perfect start to the season. Number 2 in the country. We've got the best resume in football. Number 2 strength of record, and now these are the games that truly matter for us. It's bye weeks are over, straight in ACC play. You just got to take care of business. Yeah, which is something the Miami Hurricanes have not been able to do in 20 plus years, is simply take care of business. We've had great wins in the last 20 years. We've upset teams. We've had unbelievable moments. We haven't been able to just go in there and beat an inferior team on a consistent basis. And that's what we have to do this season. So if I look at the season as a whole and to finish my projections, and I know when we did this in the beginning of the year, I said that final game against Pitt, honestly, I still 11-1 is still probably, if you gun to my head, is what we finish at, because it's just hard to go undefeated. But that it would be, the loss would still be a shock because we are just so much better than any team that we are going to face. Not only are we better on paper, we've looked better. we're just a complete team. So it would be a shock. It would be a huge letdown. But it's college football, so I don't know. But I do expect us to go into this Louisville game, and we should dominate them. Honestly, Louisville's offensive line is a disaster this season. They thought they were supposed to be good. They brought in a bunch of transfers. They thought that was going to be a solid unit. They've been horrible. So Miller Moss he hasn't gotten the protection he needs. Louisville's got the best going into the season
40 now.
Yeah. Going into the season, Louisville had what they thought was the best running back duo in the country, and they haven't been able to run the ball at all because of this offensive line. So I think we're talking about Ruben Bain, Heisman. My God, is this a game to cement that? Like, he should be able to eat. Our defense should be able to just dominate. Our corners will be tested. I think, like, if we get after Louisville, kind of put some guys on islands, but I trust our corners to be able to do that. And yeah, I mean, I think we should be able to win this game pretty comfortably. I know the spread 14.5 seems big, but it's like, I wouldn't be shocked if we win by 3 scores. So it's one of those things where I'm picking 11-1. Pitt, the final game against Pitt is still just a worry for me if we're undefeated at that point. With already ACC championship should be locked. That's just a classic game you lose, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, this game, I will say, it's going to tell me more about this Miami Hurricanes football team than I would say even maybe like the Notre Dame game, in my opinion. Because or even even Florida or FSU, because those are rivalry games. You can get yourself up for those games. And yeah, it's a Friday night, and you know, they know that they're going to be in prime time, but still, they had historically off a bye week. Miami isn't great. And to go into a Friday night game in a game you're heavily favored, historically it has been a recipe for disaster for Miami. And so if what I see on Friday night is going to give me a good idea of how truly different is this team. I feel like they're different. I expect to see something different out there. I just hope I'm not surprised by the end of it. I'm going to adjust my season prediction. I'm 12-0 now. I think we take this one home. Yes. I just feel so like kind of what like Kurt was saying with penalties. If we can just clean that up a little bit, but even when I think about a slump and I think about a bad game that we could have, we have so many weapons that Carson could be having a bad day, but we could lean on our running. Or, we could maybe have a couple turnover issues, but maybe Carson's having a good day. And our defense, I'm not really worried about our defense, especially our defensive line. So I feel good about it. It feels strange, it feels scary, and it feels new. But that's growing. That's growing.
Yeah, that's growing.
All right.
I just on the Louisville thing, I wanted to talk about, like, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure once I bring it up that we'll be on the same page here, but isn't it like interesting? And we talk about this period of this drought that Miami has been in as a program for 20 years now. And it's funny to me to think about, like, if you're listing your top schools, when we talk about recruiting in Miami and keeping the talent at home and the state of Miami and roping it off and all that stuff, there's really, to me, there's only an argument for one other school that has been poaching our talent out of our backyard and stinging us to the point where it's like, we didn't get that guy, and Miami is genuinely like multiple losses, program altering worse because of it. And Alabama is number one, but Louisville's number two. And I have like this animosity towards
Ohio
Louisville.
State.
Like,
I would put up there too.
Yeah, they're probably because of the Aquinas thing.
Yeah,
but like, seriously, I mean, Louisville has genuinely prevented us from regaining our footing. What happens if Teddy Bridgewater stays home? I mean, we're talking Teddy Bridgewater, Lamar Jackson, Eli Rogers, Tutu Atwell. I mean, listen, obviously the two quarterbacks are the top two, but we're talking like guys that are we're thinking, how does that happen?
program
What is their
changes,
South
yeah.
Florida connection? And even this year, Joe talked about that running back room. And Isaac Brown is a guy from Miami-Dade County, man.
Yeah, he's so good.
Awesome player. Was outstanding as a freshman last year. But it's strange to me when I think about Louisville. I feel that animosity where it's like, you guys have been part of the reason that we've struggled. We had to watch Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater beat us. He killed us in the Russell Athletic Bowl one year. And he talked about how he could see, the Jumbotron of the old Orange Bowl from his backyard. And then Lamar Jackson, it's like, that's Louisville stung us. Mm-hmm. And I feel an animosity towards them. It's like, I do want to, it kind of riles me up.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I hate Louisville. I think, I even think it's interesting. They're only 1-6 all time against Miami in Miami, but their first win was 2 years ago when they won to clinch the berth in the ACC championship. Mm-hmm. So that's my recent hatred. I hated them that game. They're going to the ACC championship. They won it in Miami on our turf. That was just when I was like, gosh, we can't even win our home games, and now we got a nice little home winning streak going. 10 in a row. So tides are definitely turning. The two Kurt mentioned with the penalties. I know we're saying that we need to clean up the penalties. We really need, we are pretty much dead last in the country in penalties.
I think we are. We're last in the ACC.
We're number 110. I don't know how many FBS teams there are, but I think we're 110 in penalties.
Yeah.
And then another stat that's really bad when you're trying to nitpick this team of where you can get better is our red zone defense is almost dead last in the country in points allowed. Louisville, on the other hand, is top 5 in the country points allowed in the red zone. So they've been giving up some big plays on defense, but we got to clean up our red zone defense. We even saw it against Florida State in that weird fourth quarter. Whatever happened, every time they had it within the 10-yard line, it was an easy score. And then we'd give up the 2-point conversion. So those are the two. We got to clean up those two. You can't be the number 1 team in the country and be dead last in any stat. We got to clean that up.
That's a good point.
Eye of the Hurricane. Who's going to be the game changer in this game against Louisville? Who's going to be the guy? Joe, we'll start with you.
I can't believe Miami could have had Lamar Jackson. Teddy Bridgewater is the big one because Lamar, I don't even know if I don't even know if we talked to Lamar.
I think Lamar was definitely more
criminal.
underrated. We lost Teddy because of Randy Shannon, of fire Randy Shannon. That's the one that stung. Yeah. Joe, Eye of the Hurricane.
Eye of the Hurricane. I mean, listen, I said about how bad Louisville's offensive line is. But I also think their defensive line. Eye of the Hurricane. You know what I'm going to go? I'm going to say Jordan Lyle. I think I think we're going to be able to run the ball big time against Louisville. We know what Mark Fletcher can do. Jordan Lyle played against Florida State. I need to see something from Jordan Lyle this week to get me excited about what he can do. I know he's been banged up, but if you're healthy enough to be out there, you're healthy enough to play and healthy enough to do something for us. I need to see some Jordan Lyle action. I think that's going to be a big component of our running defense if we can get that speed speed factor there. So give me Jordan Lyle as my Eye of the Hurricane presented by FEMA.
By FEMA.
I think he provides like Mark Fletcher and Jr. and Marty Brown are like thunder and thunder. He's supposed to be like the lightning guy. And so I'm with you there. I was torn on this too. Part of me wanted to mention JoJo Trader because I'd like to see him, work his way back in.
A similar breadth of Jordan Lyle.
Yeah, 100% to give us, I think he's very talented and I'd like to see someone else. I'm still mad at Keelan Marion for that motion last week. And the jet sweep, if he slowed down, he would have walked into the end zone. But
or he gets tackled. Some people are saying he gets tackled from behind if he slows down. He sped up on purpose.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually gonna go with Brockermeyer. I'm gonna go with our center. and I'm 100% serious. Like
he had a get back game last week.
I think he had a get back game. We're going the direction that we're heading. Like I think a lot of the penalties on the offensive line start with him, and he obviously the guy. I mean, he's well traveled. He's Alabama, TCU. He's been with some big programs. He's played in a lot of big games. And it just bothers me. Like the center is the leader of the offensive line. He's the communicator as far as protections and blocking and the scheme. And I'd like to see him if he can sure it up and get it right. I just think I almost would cut our penalties in half if we just got him right. And we were on time with the snap, because even some of the false starts, it's like the snaps, it's just been off. It's been a little off, and that's one of the things we've got to sure it up. And so I just want to see him be crisp, so.
I like that. He was getting some flack before the FSU game, but I would like to see the trend keep going up. Yeah. I like that pick. For me, I mean, mine's gonna. It's the easy choice, but when I think of what this season has led up to, and we're talking about how he's been an inch away every single time, and when's it going to finally come together, I think it's today this Friday for Ruben Bain. I trust our trenches over Louisville. Miller Moss has been sacked 13 times this year, which is a decent amount considering some of the competition that they've played. So I'm looking for Bain to finally connect with the quarterback. He's not chasing around Tommy Castellanos anymore. I think he's a little mobile, not like terribly mobile.
Yeah.
But
a lot more mobile than what's his face who they had last year.
I know you're talking about. I can't put the names together, but he's a little mobile, but still, I see Bain finally connecting with the quarterback. For something about Friday night at Hard Rock just makes me see our defensive line just getting through. I don't know, something about it.
Miami Night unis?
That's what I was going to bring that question up next. Do you think there's a uniform that is brought out by the Hurricanes?
They haven't teased it at all, have they?
No. They have
I haven't seen
we
a
are
single,
wearing the
even
camos against Stanford.
Are we wearing those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I thought it was just
they could be atrocious looking, but we'll see.
God.
I mean, they're full. You want to talk about camo? We are going to look like we are in Kuwait.
We're gonna look like we're Army.
Yeah,
like
there's
nothing
Army,
the soldiers.
Yeah.
The soldiers.
No, like the football team, but because there's no orange and green in it. I thought I was just one of like the
9/11.
All right. I thought that was just one of the normal jerseys they sell every year, like how the Dolphins always have a veterans jersey.
I did too for about 15 minutes, and then Adidas was like, no. Miami is wearing these in the game. It's like, wow.
At least it's Stanford.
Don't know what pants we're wearing.
I
can't imagine they're going to mess with the helmet. Are we going to be full fatigue?
We're full, and it's like digital. It's like digital camo. It's like a Call of Duty.
I think you got to go black pants, black helmet with that.
Wow.
But
it's going to be bad.
Is
It might be an
Jerome Brown
all-time
still
bad
alive?
jersey. Where's that?
I'm sorry.
What's that?
No,
relevance?
he's not. God rest his soul. I was going to say is if Jerome Brown's going to do the
true. Yeah.
For that game, that would have fit. Yeah, it wasn't. It was innocent.
Well, the announcement was Emory Williams announcing it because his dad served and like he has got like this military background, so maybe it'll be Emory Williams' dad. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So another note, I like that pick, Jimmy. Yeah, it's a good pick. I think this is a huge opportunity for Ruben Bain to continue that Heisman campaign. But you said something interesting about how often Miller Moss has been sacked. I was reading some Louisville message boards, and one thing that they are struggling with right now is they think their team's kind of quitting on each other, and there's been they've been talking about how. Yeah, they've been talking about how like none of their players are like helping each other up after tackles. Like Miller Moss just getting crushed back there, and the offensive line kind of just walks away.
He looks disheveled in his team picture.
this is an opportunity for Miami to kind of really crush Louisville's souls in this game and kind of just end it for them for good and be like, yeah, this ain't your year either. So something to keep in mind. And then my other note was
I love that you're going through the message boards.
It's the best, dude. It's such a whatever team you beat in your rivals.
Post-win message boards are the best, but
then
going
pregame message
game
boards,
week, I
very
like the
fun.
prep.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
recently
good.
got into Reddit in general this year, and it's been wonderful for me. It's
Reddit's a black
great
hole.
place. And then what was my other note? That was my only note.
Okay.
Yeah, about Louisville.
All
But I
right.
think it's just a big stretch for us. This is no more bye weeks. We're ACC play. It's going to be big, and it starts with Louisville. Just get it done.
Well, the key is going to be these games that we are the superior opponent is to hit them hard and hit them fast so that our players don't have to play the fourth quarter maybe.
That was my other note, Jimmy.
Was it?
Sorry,
There
I
you
cut
go.
you off.
No, you're fine.
Not exactly what you said. You reminded me.
Okay.
Do you want to finish what you're going to say? I'm so
No, that was it. You made
I
it
was
sound
gonna
like
say-
it was the same thing.
No, but you saying that we are going to, we're heavy favorites going in these games, all that. Yeah. My other note was in every single one of these games, we are this team's national championship. A lot of these teams we're about to be playing, their seasons are done. They've got nothing to play for except can we beat a top 3 team in the country.
Which I don't know if you guys agree with this thought process, but I almost feel better about the away games going forward than the home because I think the hype, like Tyler Van Dyke said, he loves playing these away games because the crowd's always so excited. but I think that naturally gets you up for these games, and I like to believe that Mario's instilled in this culture, but it happens everywhere. Like human beings, you're gonna be the number 2 team in the country, and you're gonna think you're better, and there could be some complacency. Even though
I think
Mario
it's
says
good
no
that there's not going to be
complacency
any
in the
like
locker room.
sleepy road games, is what you're saying.
Right.
yeah.
The crowd's gonna be into it. That's gonna get our team into it. I think where it gets almost dangerous, which we're almost out of. We have 8 home games, but we're almost out of them. We're coming to the end of this crazy home run. But I feel like that's where it almost gets dangerous, where they can sneak up on you. It's like the crowd's expecting to
We
win.
don't lose at the
teams
Rock,
expecting to
baby.
win. That's true.
Not anymore.
What is it? 10 games win streak.
10 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruben Bain said, I miss Canes football. I can't wait to be back at the Rock. Hashtag.
I still
y'all
can't get over
next.
how pissed he looked after the FSU game.
Mm-hmm.
Maniac.
That's what I look to further my feelings of confidence in the rest of the season is you look to who your leaders are, right? And respectfully, if your leaders are Jacoby George type of guys, our leaders now are professional guys who our leaders are actually the guys, they don't get too high, they don't get too low. They're locked in guys, Carson Beck and Ruben Bain, being the top 2. Even, Jimmy brought it up last week. I didn't know CJ Daniels apologized for doing the mocking the Seminoles in the camera. I appreciate, I still love that he did it. So I'm glad that he did it,
Twice,
but that apologizing after is
I'm not truly sorry he was, but he said
is a guy that I just think that this team gets it. And I think you look to the leaders for how the rest of the team is going to respond.
Yeah.
And this is the theme. Mario Cristobal is the same way. And he's got guys now, he has been here for 4 years, guys he has indoctrinated who are now the same, even guys who haven't been there. He's attracting this type of talent. It's unbelievable. These are our leaders. They're the guys that are like this. And we have some of the fringe guys, but in general, locked in.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, too, because we were talking about the Barstool interview, and PFT made a joke at the end, and he goes, I'd really want to play for you. And then he paused. He's like, actually, I don't. I would not want to play for you. I don't think it would work out. But it obviously it's a joke, but it is true with the players that Mario Cristobal is recruiting he's in their houses talking to them exactly like that in his intense way and what he expects, that he expects greatness from them, professionalism from them. And we are getting players that are looking at it and being like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. And so we're starting to see that culture take place versus guys that are just like, I want to like taunt and not work very like. It's just a different type of talent that we're getting where guys really want to play for Mario Cristobal, even though he will work you to death. It's very difficult. It's grueling. He's strict, all of that. But it's like Saban. It's the same. It's like we always thought, how do guys want to play for Saban and do this? But it's because they know he makes them great.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's why PFT was bought in. But yeah, when PFT said that, he's like, I'd love to just play for you. He goes, no. He goes, excuse my French. He's like, you just be bitching and complaining. There's some life from Mario.
I've heard stories like every recruiting window. I've heard like people saying, that guy, he's not a Miami take or Miami stopped contact. And you're like, if this was like Manny Diaz's team or like
I'd be like, what do we
Al
this
Golden,
is
you'd be like, oh, we that's covering our tracks or whatever. But like it's very like Mario, there are guys that he's just like, you don't fit our culture. I don't want you.
Yep. There's a current running back right now. I think possible. It's like maybe an Ohio State lean. I forget his name, but that's the big question. Like the staff is not going after this guy, and he is looks like an absolute unit. I think he plays for who's like the Patriots in high school football in Miami.
Christopher Columbus?
Maybe. It's a navy blue and red team. That's why I know. I saw the picture.
Yeah. Or Chaminade.
Or Chaminade, yeah. But I don't know if it is. Yeah, but there's this like massive run, like this absolute unit of running back, but Mario's not taking him. Or just not pushing for him because I don't know. Maybe there's just not a fit there. Yeah, in the past, I'd be like, what? Like, are we just saying he's not a take because he doesn't like us? Yeah. No, I exactly like what you said, Kurt. All right. Lock of the week. Joe stopped his 2-game skid, needed it.
He was desperate. He was
not only did Joe cover,
desperate.
Joe took Northwestern 20.5, and they outright won. I mean, we've already talked about that, but just an all-time pick right there. Mm-hmm. Kurt also got the W. Kurt improves to 4-3, so above 500 now on the season, taking USC. That was a great pick. That was honestly.
Thank you.
In my head, I was like, I don't know if I just USC in my head is like my Texas A&M. I don't trust them when I pick them, but the hate for Michigan. One out on that one.
Bryce Underwood is on track to throw for 10 touchdown passes.
I saw that.
You see that tweet?
That was a funny one. I took Bama 3.5 over Missouri. Come to find out, it actually moved to 2.5. Got closer to the game, but I took it at 3.5. Bama wins by 3. Of course, I wanted to bash my head in watching that. Like it was a garbage time touchdown. Missouri scored. It had no bearing on the game. But nevertheless.
But you say that, but then Mizzou got the ball back with a chance to tie.
That's because Alabama was being stupid. But
I wouldn't call it a garbage time touchdown.
Well, I'm sorry, not garbage time, but they were playing like Alabama was playing some soft defense. Like they were allowing them to drive down the field.
Yeah, it did look like you were going to cover.
I thought I had it, so I moved to 3-4 on the season.
Well, listen, Jimmy, this is your week because you've gone lose, win, lose, win, lose, win,
Christmas
lose.
Over on my chart
so
right
this,
here.
This is win week for you.
Yeah, this is win week. I could pick anyone right now. Kurt, since you've won 2 in a row, you got the honors.
All right, I'm on a little bit of a theme here where I'm just gonna keep trusting in my brain and my eyes. And I'm going to go back to picking on North Carolina this week.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to continue. If I see an advantage like this, I'm just going to continue to hit it. I just think Vegas is wrong. I flat out, I think if they're looking at North Carolina black and white, you take away the Belichick name and you look at this team on paper, this is literally when I say one of the worst defenses in the country, I mean like out of 136 teams, 133rd. Mm-hmm. Like this is a horrendous defense. This team they're coming off a bye week. Oh, you're impressed by that? Well, how about this? Toxic articles have been, I mean, The Athletic, I have an Athletic subscription, just absolutely lambasting them all week long with leaks, anonymous quotes. Jimmy mentioned it. Bill was in Martha's Vineyard with his teenage girlfriend.
On the bye week.
This team, they're traveling across the country to play a conference game at 10:30 p.m. on a Friday night. I cannot.
Oh, that's after our game?
That's on. Yeah.
Oh,
Friday night at
God.
10:30.
If we win this game and I get to watch that after as a hate watch, I just got goosebumps.
For the life of me, Cal has an experienced coaching staff, and they've got a great young quarterback, probably the best, probably one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the country, and I just for the life of me cannot think of how North Carolina, the stuff that I've read this week, half the staff has checked out. The players aren't talented and they're checking. This is not Clemson, right? That's a good example of like, they're going to come together and salvage a game. This team is bad. They're actually bad. So I'm going to continue to, I will happily pick North Carolina against North Carolina once again. And it's Cal. I'll take Cal at 11.5.
Love it. I'm so excited for that game now that knowing that's Friday night. Cal's not a bad team.
Cal's had the one bad week. Otherwise they've been pretty impressive. North Carolina is bad. They're really bad. Just look at the underlying statistics. They are horrendous.
Joe, what do you got?
Similar to Kurt, I'm going with against a team I've gone against early in the year, and it paid off for me. And this was a line also I saw, and I was like, am I missing injuries here? Like, what am I missing that Vegas has? And it's Georgia Tech they're getting 2.5 at Duke. Duke is 2.5-point favorites, home game for Duke. But I'm like, listen, Duke's had some nice wins the last couple weeks, but Georgia Tech's the better team, and it's a noon kickoff at Duke. It's an easy road game, I think, for Georgia Tech. Like, this isn't going to be a hostile environment, and Georgia Tech's rolling right now, and I just can't see. I just see Georgia Tech winning this game easily by a touchdown. So when I saw them as an underdog, they're 13th in the country now. I think this is just a classic game. Manny Diaz loses. So give me Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
2.5 at Duke.
All right. That was going to be my pick, so I like that.
You can still pick it.
No, I got to make up ground somewhere. It's getting bad. All right.
Yeah, I'm 6-2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I gotta go on some run, and you need to go on a skid if I'm gonna make up any good ground. But I'm looking at the South Carolina Oklahoma game. At South Carolina, a 12:45 game. Interesting time slot. That smells of SEC Network to me.
Yeah, they do always kick off slightly later.
Yeah. But Oklahoma coming off of a devastating loss against your bitter rival, Texas. Not a great Texas team, and they looked inept. Mateer does not look completely healthy. Don't know who the team doctor is that gave him the thumbs up for it, but it was bad. Oklahoma's favored by 4.5 on this one. At South Carolina. South Carolina's not a great team, but
also coming off a loss.
But I just think coming off of that rivalry game, they're going to be down on themselves. Still not completely healthy. I'm going to go with the Gamecocks here. Honestly, I'm going to take the spread if I get the spread. I think the Gamecocks outright win this, but I'll take them 4.5 plus.
This is at Oklahoma?
At South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah. Hey.
Home dogs.
Need it. All right. Gentlemen. We've already got it.
Actually, did you see that Venables was running stadiums after the game?
Was that I couldn't tell if that was real. I couldn't tell if that was real or someone was just posting that he was punching
I think that was
himself.
real.
Do you think that was real?
I think they were joking he was punching, but I think he was literally running stadiums in the Cotton Bowl.
Tough. Tough. That's true. That was in the Cotton Bowl, so that was real. That's just tough. I mean, that game was like 6-6 in like the third quarter. It's just like these SEC games are brutal to watch.
Yeah.
Like there was a point
really
in time
are.
where every game that was on was like a ACC matchup. And I'm like, these offenses are just inept. Like you can't sit here and tell me these are just good on good right now. These are just boring, bad offenses I'm watching.
Quarterback play's been tough.
Yeah. Been tough all around. But all right. We've already kind of gotten into it, but Friday night, your Canes are coming back home. Warning, Hurricane Bane, mass devastations. Hide your children. Hide Miller Moss.
Red Cross.
We don't even need to get into it anymore with how we're feeling about it because we've already talked about that, but I want to hear predictions. All right, let me pull up the over-under super quick.
Maybe
anyone
that's
have
what we're
it?
doing. Maybe we're dressing up as the National Guard against Stanford. Maybe that's what we're going for.
All right, I got the spread here. All right, 54.5 is your over-under. Down to a 13.5 spread. Actually, maybe that's what it always was. Maybe I made up 14.
It opened at 14.5. No,
Was it for
FanDuel did at least.
Down to 13.5. Kurt, you can lead us off. What do you got? Score prediction.
Yep. Listen. I'm really excited to see the Canes come out here on a Friday night and get back into it coming off the bye week. Dude, I really feel good about this game. I think that the way that this has worked with the momentum, but having that again, like after the end of the Florida State game, it was very clear that like there are some things that we need to work on as strong as we are. I don't think this is a bye week where the players, everyone's just resting on their laurels and thinking that, we're this completely unbeatable team. Right. And so I'm excited to be at the Rock again. I think it's going to be rocking on Friday night. I expect a great crowd. After seeing how they showed out for USF and how this team has continued to improve and it ultimately being on Friday night, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. So I think the Canes are going to be up and ready for it. I think I've really just been kicking around like, how many points do we score? I think Louisville's got a solid defense, but again, no one's played a schedule like we have so far. So I think you got to factor that in as well. I'm feeling like 41-16.
All right.
I think we're absolutely going to put it on Louisville. I think we're going to force some turnovers. I think we're going to be all over Miller Moss.
Yeah.
And I just think once that momentum train gets going for us, I think we're going to see the defense being as strong as it is. It's going to start to propel the offense. We can't forget how difficult the schedule has been up to this point.
Yeah.
We've had three. Notre Dame is obviously a rival. We've had 3 humongous rivalry games already.
And then you take into account USF, who's probably a playoff team.
The best group of 5 team in the country. We absolutely shellacked.
Yeah.
We got to remember. I think we need to make a bigger deal out of that, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I think that this is going to be where the stat padding and some of the as Joe mentioned, if nothing blows you away yet, I think this is the point in the season. This is why I said last week, Carson Beck for Heisman. He's going to be
the front runner right now.
The stat padding portion. Yeah. And I think it's going to start on Friday night.
Yeah, he just jumped Dante Moore after his performance against Indiana. So Carson Beck is your Heisman favorite right now. Love it. Joseph.
41-16.
Love that.
41-60. Ooh, that would be.
I love
So
thinking about
sweet.
scoring 41 points.
Listen. Like I said, 2 years ago, Louisville beat us at home to go to the ACC championship. So this is the time. I know Florida State was an ACC game, but this is truly ACC. The schedule is starting now. I was listening to Kane's Insight. They were talking about how there's 3 seasons in this one season. There's rivalry season, in-state competition. There's ACC season. There's playoff season. We're in ACC season. It's time to go undefeated in it. It starts Friday night at the Rock. We don't lose at the Rock anymore. Gone. Actually, that's part of my best of X. I'll save it for that. But I got 35-20 Canes. I think it's just going to be a good, clean win. I think Ruben Bain has a big night. Carson Beck has a big night. Our running game has a big night. Ultimately, we cover. Good teams win, great teams cover. We are a great team. We've been covering. We will continue to cover. Miami. Whoa, Miami blow!
Oh, we're going to hit
Kurt,
on
are you going to be at the game?
Yes. Oh, yes. I did want
Let's
to mention. I will be
go.
there.
Let's go.
Yep. I've been given the
Jimmy.
go-ahead.
What say you, Jimmy?
I'm going. So this was my loss in the beginning of the season. But like I said, the tides have turned. I feel good about this. I think back to the FSU game, and Kurt alluded to it, but there was points left on the board, and I think if I see us connecting, I picture for the first time in forever, I picture a Friday night, and I'm like I am excited for our players just to show out once again in front of the country. The country's high on Miami, but there's a lot of junk that's happened the past 20 years in this program. And so just another chance to show people what Mario has built at Miami. I think we take advantage of it. I think we connect. I don't think Marion has that illegal procedure. I think Marion waits for the blocks in this one. I think we are pumping on all cylinders. I'm going to go 34-10. Your Miami Hurricanes.
Wow.
We're still just not like I would love 41 points. We're a slow rolling offense. We're slow and steady. Mm-hmm. We'll connect on a few. So I would love. I think the only reason maybe I'm not predicting 41 is just a matter of time. That we don't get that much. But I just see a dominant performance. So 34-10. Your Canes move to 6-0, number 2 in the country.
Bowl eligible.
Carson Beck, Heisman favorite, bowl eligible. Dude, cannot take that for granted. We can lose every game, and we're in Shreveport.
That would be hilarious if if our social media team posted after the game, just hashtag bowl eligible at FSU.
I would love it. All right, best of X, and let's wrap this up. We're going over.
Jeez, bye week episode goes some of the longest, huh?
I know. There's too much to talk about around the country. We get too excited.
I'll kick us off with best of X because it had something to do with what I was saying with my choice of that we don't lose at home anymore. And it is the post is by Dirty Bird at Dirty Bird on X, and he says, breaking, FSU is 0-2 against teams who do not have an on-campus stadium, talking about Miami and then, of course, Pitt, who plays where the Steelers play. Miami, the stadium jokes look so stupid now from Florida State and Florida fans. It's an absolute joke. Miami owns you. It's clear that Hard Rock is a tough place to play. We are good at home. We have a home winning streak going. So why don't you stop thinking about where our campus is and or where our stadium is, who owns our stadium, how far away it is from campus, and why don't you guys focus on finding enough money to find a new coach? Cowards.
Burn.
Well, that's my best of X, presented by the National Guard.
My best of X is going to come. It's from at B Sonone.
Nailed it.
FSU allowed Pitt 3.64 seconds to throw on average yesterday. That was 99 out of 100 FBS teams that played football on Saturday. Okay. It also had the 5th most pressures and the 6th highest sack rate. So a little crazy variance there. But all in all, when the pass rush wasn't good on Saturday, it was downright abysmal. Yeah, it's funny. These guys, you know what else? Poetic. I thought it was absolutely poetic.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Daryl Jackson Jr.,
Yep.
who is 0-4 in the Miami-Florida State rivalry for his career.
You just don't want him on your team.
Big-time loser who never reached his potential. His best years were at Miami, interestingly enough. But, just thought that was really funny. He jumped off sides before FSU could get the ball back to potentially tie or win that game. So the defensive line there, I don't know who their defensive line coach is, but the past 2 years, this D-line thing, it's just too easy to pick on because it started with the best D-line in the country, and it's just progressively gotten worse.
They're just a non-question. All right, I got mine. At 706 Dodds 813, just goes by Dodds on Twitter, tweets, what has Lanning done differently than what Mario did at Oregon? LOL. And then Vic Damone Jr. at DeGreatest33 responds, Coke. That was a good one.
That is good. That is rich. Yeah, boy, am I happy to see Dan Lanning losing.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I didn't like him until I saw the post Penn State interview. Something about I was like, there's something's off here. I just
hate
this.
Oregon fans the way they talk about Mario and how little, just how quickly they forget what he did for them.
Yeah, they're gonna make excuses for Lanning, but they say Mario could win the big game there. But
it's true. And you talk about a place that's actually won nothing.
Right.
You can literally.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
But hey,
gentlemen,
remember they dressed like ducks that one time?
That was pretty sweet, though.
Remember when they had the orange cleats? Yeah, that was kind of sick.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a bad
All right.
counterpoint by me. Those are the sickest uniforms ever.
Should we do is this going to be a Miami Knights game? What do you think, percentage wise? Yes or no?
I really don't think so because we haven't. Every year we've done Miami Knights, we've teased them to start the season.
Yeah, but
like I said, it's the camos.
Not...
The Emory Williams camos are coming out against Stanford.
It's just going to be Emory in camo, and then the rest of the team is going to be in a normal jersey. I hope we don't. Actually, no, never mind. The podcast name needs to live on. Miami Knights. Live up to the name. I don't know what they would look like, though, as long as they're better than 2 years ago.
I don't think we are either.
Yeah.
But.
Last year I didn't like them either.
2 years ago.
And
I like how they glowed in the dark.
They looked horrible on TV. And last year we looked like Oregon State. So I wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, I did not like last year's.
The best were like the Parley ones we did. We lost in them, though. So
LSU.
God rest their soul. All right, gentlemen. Friday night, we got a big one. Back at it. You got Miami Hurricanes football for the next 6 weeks and beyond, God willing, if we're bowl eligible.
We're going to retain the Schnellenberger Boots.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget about
that's true. This is a trophy game.
We could have gotten into that, but it's a great end of the podcast. Schnellenberger Boots game. Keep them home.
Keep them home.
Need the coveted trophy. All right, go Canes.